Okay, let's start. First, we will pay respect to the Triple Gem. นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะสาธุ Hello everyone. Hello Vivian. Hello everyone from anywhere in the world. Hi Manal. It's Thursday and we come here to listen to the Dhamma with me, Ayya Khemavamsi from Thailand. Hi Sooth. Today I have a very special topic because we're going to discuss the Abhidhamma. Normally when we discuss the sutra, we mainly focus on the sutra, the discourse, right? But it's not frequent for us to have a opportunity to explore the Abhidhamma, even in Thailand. Talking about the Pali Canon, the Tipitaka. The word Tipitaka, Ti means three, right? Pitaka is basket. So Tipitaka means the three baskets. Altogether, like the teachings of the Blessed One, the Buddha, can be divided into three main baskets, three main fields. The Vinaya, like the code of conduct, the discipline, for the monastic monks, both male and female, right? The Vinaya, the Sutra or the discourse, and then the Abhidhamma or the higher teachings. Even in Thailand, when we give a Dhamma talk, we're gonna give the Dhamma talk on the sutra or the discourse because there's a lot to talk about, and it's just like how we should practice. Like it's like the doctrine is like the teachings, how to behave and something like that, or maybe about the birth of the Buddha, about the many stories like Dhammapada, for example. And Vinaya, we don't really discuss with the lay people because it's very, very difficult even for the monastic to understand. But it's the way of life for the monastic, right? And also Abhidhamma, we study it, in the temple, in the university for the monastics, or even in Thailand, the lay people can study the Abhidhamma as well, but it's really difficult and not a lot of people study it. So as I mentioned, it's a very special opportunity for us to discuss some some topics in the Abhidhamma today. So today we're going to talk about Kamma in Abhidhamma, focusing on 4 types according to the priority of effects. Okay, so let's start. Hi Greg, hi Matthias, hi Lusa, hi Ho Pak Wai, right? The word Kamma, karma, Kamma, or action or volitional action. We're going to discuss this term from Abhidhamma. And also I have attached the links for you. It's it's just like what is the Abhidhamma, for you can learn more about it. I brought this one, it's from Dhammapada verse because I'm not sure. In Thailand now is in the evening of the 15th of February, but yesterday is the Valentine's Day, right? And so I just want to talk, touch on the topic of the love. But the love in Buddhism, we talk about the loving kindness and also the Buddha talk about this as well, that if one holds oneself dear, if we love ourselves, we should protect ourselves well. Excuse me. Like if we love ourselves, we should protect ourselves well during any of the three watches of life, any sorry, any of the three stages of life, childhood, middle age, and then when you old. The wise should keep vigil. This is from Dhammapada verse. So regarding the day that we should remind ourselves of the love, that we should remind ourselves to, before loving others, we should know how to love yourself as well. And in Buddhism, when we talk about loving ourselves, we talk about loving kindness and how to love yourself with wisdom, which is to do good deeds, to good deeds, good actions, good speech, and then good thought. So that's why we should learn about the action today. So we then learn how to really love ourselves in the right way, to know what is good and what is bad, to know what we should abandon and what we should cultivate. Mhm. Okay, so the word Abhidhamma, for someone who have not heard about it before, Abhi is the perfect, means transcending or higher, and Dhamma here has the meaning of truth or teaching. So together, the approximate meaning is higher teaching. Like in Abhidhamma, the Buddha does not focus on like this person, that person, but the Buddha talk about four main things: citta, cetasika, cetasik, rupa, and then nibbana. So gonna talk something like imagine yourself like in the Matrix movie, and when you really see the truth, it's just like the elements, it's just like the code, it's not like Mary, James, it's not teachers, it's not student. That's something like the vocabulary, something that you label things. But in Abhidhamma, we're gonna, like decode it, just like everything is just the five aggregates. It's just the elements. It's just the citta, cetasika, rupa, and nibbana, which you can read, more in detail in the links that I provide. Okay. So in Abhidhamma, the word Kamma is actually the action, but it's not just the ordinary action, but it's the intention. We use the word cetana. Cetana is in Pali language, means intention or will in English. Kamma is an intention, and this includes will, choice, and decision, which leads to action, as is given in the Buddha's words. Cetanahang bhikkhave kammang vadhami. Like monks, cetana is the action. Oh no, sorry. The intention is the action, right? Intention, I say, is kamma. Having willed, we create kamma through body, speech, and mind. For example, I don't know that you all have learned about this before. Like for the 5 precepts, actually we have the criteria. It's not just like the first precept is to kill, right? The first precept is to kill being. Even though you kill it yourself or you ask someone to kill for you, then that is the first precept, right? To abstain from killing. But actually there is the criteria for the precept. For each precept, there is a criteria. For example, the first precept, there are 5 criteria. The first one, that being, that animal is alive. This is the first one. The second one, you know that it's alive. For example, there is a mosquito. The mosquito is alive because it's just, like flying around you. And the second one, you know that the mosquito is alive. You know, you have the consciousness that, okay, there's the mosquito and it's still alive. Number 3, you have the intention to kill that being, to kill that, mosquito, for example. You have intention. The fourth one, you try to kill, you make an effort to kill. The last one, that animal is dead because of your action. So if you break all the 5 criteria for the first precept, that means you 100% break the precept. You have to renew the precept. You have to, go to the monastic and then, ask for the precept, or you just, go to the Buddha image and then, just have the intention to renew the precept yourself at home or at the temple. It's up to you. But why did I have to bring this one? Because it means like you have the intention to kill. This is called the action itself. But if you break all the 5 criteria, that means you 100%, fault. But if you break just like the 4, for example, you don't know that there's a snail on the grass, but you don't look at it, and then you just step and then you kill that animal. So it means you don't 100% break the precept, but it's just like it's not that strong. For example, 2 actions, you have intention to kill and you just like careless. You don't look at it carefully, so you killed it. So the level is not the same. When you have intention, it's stronger. That's for example. As the whole Pakwai said, taking life is not to undo. Yes, you cannot undo the action that you just did, right? But if you have intention to kill, that means you have like the the strong intention to create the Kamma, to do the action, right? And it means the strong consequence that you get, something like that. And yeah, you can undo killing things, but you can think like, okay, next time I will be more careful and I will have intention not to kill again, something like that. Hopak Y asks, what is the precept concerning Buddha belief? The precept is just like the code of conduct, what we should do. If we should do like this, if we keep, not harming other, not killing other, not stealing what is not yours, not having the sexual, I don't know what's it called in English, like don't do the misconduct, right? Sexual misconduct, and don't tell lies, and don't drink something that make you careless, like alcohol beverages that make you, careless. This thing is just like the fence that's gonna protect you from bad consequences, bad incident. For example, if you don't drink alcohol and don't drive, just the bad incident not gonna occur to you. So the precept is like the code of conduct or something that protect you. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the Kamma. Kamma or action can be divided into like many categories. The first one we're gonna talk about is the 2 Kamma. The 2 Kamma can be divided into akusala and kusala. Akusala, or we know in the word unwholesome. Akusala kamma, not wise, unskillful, or unwholesome actions that are born from the roots of unskillfulness, which are greed, hatred, and delusion. Whatever action that derived from greed, hatred, and delusion or ignorance is considered unwholesome actions. On the contrary, if the actions are born from three roots, which are non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion, you don't wish to take things from others, or like not too greedy, you full of loving kindness and compassion, and you have the right wisdom. Whatever actions that are born from these three roots are called kusala kamma, or wholesome actions. This is the two types of actions. Now, three types of actions is there are bodily action, verbal action, and mental action. So action through the body, speech, and mind. Here, the mental kamma, the mental action is considered to be the most significant because it is the origin of all actions. Thought precedes actions through body and speech. Bodily and verbal deeds are derived from mental actions, as given in the Pali. Of these three types of actions, so distinguished by me, I say that mental kamma, or mental action, has the heaviest consequences for the committing of evil deeds and the existence of evil deeds, not bodily or verbal kamma. So that's why when, you know, I think most of the Buddha teachings, focus on, control the mind, train the mind. Because why? Bodily action or verbal action has to derive, from the Buddhism, have to derive from mental actions. You think first, you have the idea, you have the mindset, you have the concept in your head, and then gonna through speech. If you notice in the Noble Eightfold Path, the first one, the Buddha focus on right view. You have to have the right view first. From the right view, and then you have the right thought. From the right thought, and then right speech, and then right action. So yeah, the Buddha said the mental action is significant. The Kamma is the Pali word, right? Means actions. And Vipaka is the consequence of one's action. So in Buddhism, we believe in cause and effect, cause and result. And this is the four kinds of Kamma. You can study in the MN 57, MN 59, that we're going to attach the links to you. You learn the four types of Kamma. The first one, the black Kamma with black result. The second one, white Kamma with white result. The third one, Kamma that is both black and white, giving result both black and white. And the last one, Kamma, which is neither black nor white, which leads to the cessation of Kamma. It means that, actions that, unwholesome action, we're gonna give unwholesome, like bad consequences. Wholesome action give good consequences. And when you mix, for example, like you're ordinary, you just like people, sometimes they do good deeds, sometimes they do bad deeds, right? So they mix the action, both good and bad, both wholesome and unwholesome. So the result that you get is good and bad mixing together, right? But the fourth one, the last one, is the action that is considered neither black nor white, neither it's not going to yield like the good or bad consequences, but it is the path that leads you to the end of actions, meaning the end of samsara or nirvana. So you can study further in the links that I have attached to you, or maybe next time we can discuss about it. But the last one here is about the Noble Eightfold Path. So this is like the introduction only, to discuss this, that you now know that there are 4 kinds of actions. The actions or kamma that I'm gonna study with you right now focus only on the first, second, and the third, not the fourth, because, for example, if you do bad actions, right, you're gonna get the bad consequences. For example, if you kill someone and then you might go to jail or blah blah blah. The second one, if you do good deeds, you're gonna have the good consequences in your life. For example, if you help each other, if you have the loving kindness, you help that person, have this person, and then you get help from someone else, right? Good deeds, good actions, and then good consequences. But it doesn't have to be the same person. But doing good and bad can mean like more rebirth. For example, if you do bad deeds, have bad consequences, and then go to the bad places after death, like hell, or be reborn as animals, or as like ghosts or monsters, something like that. On the contrary, if you do good actions, gonna get good consequences, and then you'll be reborn again in the good places. For example, as human is called sukhati, good places, good destination. Heaven or Brahma realm, this is called good places. But if you follow the Noble Eightfold Path, meaning you can reach the Nibbana, no more rebirth. You don't have to be reborn in the, again. Why shouldn't I be reborn in the good places? Because you don't do just the good deeds all the time. It means that, okay, maybe next life you be reborn in heaven, but eventually you're gonna die from heaven and then be reborn again, which you don't know where to go, maybe as human, or maybe as animals, or maybe in the hell, something like that. So the Buddha said, if you follow the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the path leading to the end of samsara, to the right awakening, the right liberation, no more rebirth. And that is number 4. Okay? So, yeah, the Buddhists have followed the teachings of the Buddha. And yeah, okay. Now, before we, go on to our topic today, the Buddha taught us that, when we do the actions of Kamma, you can have the consequence maybe in this lifetime, maybe in the next life, or maybe in some subsequent becoming. For example, in the 3rd or 4th, 5th, indefinitely, until you attain Nibbana. So whatever you do now, you're gonna have the consequence maybe in this lifetime, maybe next life, and then go on and on until you reach the Nibbana. And today the topic, okay, now we come to the topic. We're going to discuss Kamma or actions according to the priority of effect. In this topic, we're going to focus on the actions that will lead you to the next life. Of course, you're going to be reborn. If you want to stop rebirth, then you have to reach the arahantship or nibbana first. That means, I believe, like most of us have to be reborn in next life. So today we're gonna learn 4 actions that lead you to next life. All actions lead you to next life, but if you study these 4, then you know what you should do in your life now, what you should abandon and what you should cultivate, because there is the priority of effect. For example, if you don't have the knowledge and if you kill your mother, then you know for certain that you're going to be reborn where in your next life, for example. Or if you reach the jhana, then right before you die, if you reach the jhana right before you die, of course, the Buddha said, you will be reborn again in the Brahma realm. So this is like the something that we should learn. So we know okay, now actually after this Dhamma session, you learn that actually you can kind of predict where to go. It's not 100%, but the consequence is up to your actions. That's what I try to mean. Not to predict, but you can choose. You can at least have a peace of mind that I think I've done something good in this life, and then you be reborn in the good place, something like that. Okay. I'll do the Q&A later. Okay, now the first one is called Kaluka Kamma or heavy weighty Kamma. This can be good and bad. It produces results in this life or the next for certain. This is like the weighty one, the heavy one. It can be the good and bad, right? For good, that means you have to reach the jhana, the first to the 8th jhana right before you die. Or you do a lot, and then when it's about to die, you're about to die, and then you reach the jhana, and then reach the jhana, and then for certain, then you'll be reborn in the Brahma realm. But it's kind of difficult. That's why, I don't know in Western country, but in Thailand and I think most of the Buddhism country, we have the word train to die before you die. So you have to train yourself, train yourself before you die. So when you die, you will be mindful. You will die with maybe Buddha. You will die with the breath, or you will die thinking of good things. And this is one of the Karuka Kamma or the heavy weighty Kamma. That means when you know that okay, you're about to die, if you know, right? And then you can in meditative state. And if you can do this, you'll be reborn in the Brahma realm for certain, if you can reach right before you die. But the bad one, this is what we should focus, so we can avoid. The first one is seriously wrong views. We have 3 wrong views. Second one is heinous actions which bring immediate results, which can drag you to hell. For example, Tevatatta. Tevatatta, after doing bad deeds to the Buddha, causing the Buddha to bleed, I think, yeah. So he will go to hell in the next life, for example. The seriously wrong views, there are three in this topic. The belief of non-action, the theory that there is no after effect of action, right? There's no effect. Whatever you do in this life, there's no effect at all. There's no result. There's no consequences. The second one, the belief in causelessness, the theory that there is no cause of a phenomenon. For example, whatever you have now, there is no cause. It just, like just happened. There is no cause. And the third one is the belief in non-existent nihilism, a nihilistic view, like there's nothing, non-existent, this is not real, something like that. So this is the Buddha said is there are seriously wrong views. The Buddha said, monks, when there is a wrong view, for example, as the self, or with these three types of wrong views, bodily karma is created as a result of that view, verbal karma is created as a result of that view, and mental karma is created as a result of that view, as well as intention, aspirations, wishes, and mental proliferations are all productive of results that are undesirable, unpleasant, disagreeable, yielding no benefit, not but conducive to suffering. Mhm. On the contrary, the right view, if you have the right view, then the action through body, speech, and mind, the intention, wishes, and all the mental proliferation gonna give you the desirable consequences and to happiness. So this is why the view is very important, right? In the Noble Eightfold Path, the right view is the number one. I see no other condition that is so harmful as the wrong view of harmful things, monks. The wrong view is the greatest. That is the reason why we have to learn the teachings so we know what is right and what is wrong. Next one that is considered the heavy weighty actions is called heinous action, which brings immediate results. When you kill mother, kill father, matricide, patricide, killing an arahant, causing a Buddha to suffer a contusion, a bleed, and causing schism in the Sangha, split the Sangha, for example. Okay. Number 2, death proximate, asana kamma. This is what one does or remembers immediately before the moment of dying. I think I should answer the question first because I saw it's the contact. From the contact, it creates the feelings, thoughts. Because I think I should discuss this before move on to the further topic. Could we say Shana abolish Kamma, or that it leads to neither bright nor dark Kamma, maybe both? Shana cannot abolish. How can I say? Imagine the rock on the grass. When you put a heavy rock on the grass for a certain period of time, in that area, there's no grass, right? Because it cannot, survive, without the sunlight and things like that, under the rock, right? So the shana is just like the meditative state that just suppress the feelings, suppress the mental phenomena, but it cannot abolish. You cannot get rid of the unwholesome qualities. You just suppress it. So for the shana, it has the benefit of, um, train the mind to have the focus, to have one-pointedness. So when you can focus, when you can concentrate, and then when things happen, so you know that, now I get it. It arise and perish. Nothing lasts, something like that. So you see, for so you will be able to see when the mind is stable, calm, and focused, concentrated. You will see things as they really are. You think that, anicca tukkhaṃ anatta. That's, for example, this is the advantage of shana. So the mind is powerful, stable, focused, and calm. So the wisdom come and then help you reach the right liberation. Okay. And great asks, from what I understand, no, not asks. Johan, from what I understand, the Buddha learned how to do shana from other teachers, but didn't think they led to enlightenment or nibbana. The Buddha learned from two teachers until reaching the eighth chana, which is like the highest. But even the eighth chana cannot reach the nibbana because they're gonna have the wisdom as well. Tranquility and insight together, and then right liberation. Yeah, shana must be paired with Buddha's teaching, the understanding. Vote here. Namo Buddhaya. This is Waken from Malaysia. The fourth type of Kamma, is the Noble Eightfold Path, which leads to cessation of Kamma. However, the Noble Eightfold Path includes meritorious and skillful action, and one that gives you bright result is the Noble Eightfold Path, also attached to bright Kamma. The Noble Eightfold Path can be divided into Sila, Samadhi, Panya, precepts, meditation, concentration, and then the wisdom, right? So you have to do good deeds. So the good deeds is the meritorious, yeah, the good actions, right? You're gonna create the right actions. The right consequences as well. So, for example, when you walk in the path, which is called the Noble Eightfold Path, right? You have the destination. Is the Nibbana, the right liberation. If you follow this path, eventually you will reach your destination, which is the end of suffering. This is the fourth kind of Kamma. But along the way, when you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, along the way, you're gonna accumulate, no? You're gonna, gain all the right consequences. It's just like something that you get along the way until you reach. But like some people do good deeds, good actions because they wish to be reborn in heaven. I wish to have a better life. I wish to win the lottery. I wish to be healthy. So you wish for the good consequences. That is the second one. Right actions and the right consequences. But the fourth one, when you practice or when you follow the Noble Eightfold Path, you don't wish to be healthy. You don't wish to win the lottery, but you wish to reach the right liberation, we have the right understanding. And along the way, the good consequences is just like the bonus. Like the flower along the way. The second type of Kamma, white Kamma with right results, and the fourth type of Kamma that's a different mirroring in the results. I think I did that. I answered that already. Because it seemed to me that the Noble Eightfold Path would fit the description of both. Oh, okay. I think I answered it. The Ayya, when anger arises in the mind, is it generating strong bad karma? I'm having trouble seeing how it is more powerful karma than verbal and physical acting out of anger. The mental action is more powerful in the sense that because you have it comes first. Okay, it comes first, so it is the heaviest consequences come first. So you think first and then speak and then do. But when you do and when you speak and then still you're gonna think, right? So it had the heaviest consequences because yeah, when you speak and then you have to think, and when you do and then you have to think, and the actions to verbal and to bodily action, we have to derive from the mental kamma. That's why. Okay. And to answer to Su's question, we're gonna talk in number 3. Now we number 2. The number 2 is death proximate asana kamma. It is what one does or remembers immediately before the moment of dying. It plays a part in determining the future birth. Many Buddhist countries have customs and traditions to remind the dying person of the good deeds he has done and make him do good acts on his deathbed. Sometimes a bad person may die happily and receive a good birth if he remembers or does a good act at the last moment. So the first one, we talk about the Vedic Kamma, that it gonna brings you to the certain places in the next life. For example, if you reach the Shana right before you die, then you'll be reborn in the Brahma realm. If you have done the 5 heinous actions like matricide, patricide, killing arahant and stuff, and then in the next life you immediately go to hell. Or if you have the wrong views that I mentioned earlier, then you have to, because of the wrong views, and then you have wrong action and wrong speech. And if you have the wrong view for all your life, meaning most of your actions gonna be the bad one, right? So you go to hell, something like that. But the second one is very interesting because in Abhidhamma, the Buddha talk about the death proximate actions. It is so strong that sometimes, even though your whole life mainly you do good actions, but right before you die, you just think of something that something bad that you have done just maybe one time in your life, and you think of that over and over and over and over, and then you die. It has the high opportunity for you to go to hell because of that thought. So that's why the mental action is very, very strong, and has the heaviest consequence. Because sometimes when you think of bad things before you die, and then you may go to the bad destinations. So maybe many Buddhist countries have traditions to remind the dying person. For example, you do the chanting for them, so they can listen to the chanting, and then it will remind that person, oh, You used to go and then chant in the temple, oh, this is the good deed that I have done. And then when you think of the good deeds, and then you go to the good destination. This is why I mentioned earlier that we need to train ourselves before we die. Train to die before we die. Like, okay, try to think of something that good that I used to do. It sometimes help. Or I want to tell that it's not many people, used to talk like, if I'm not Buddhism, if I'm not a Buddhist, that means I don't have to go to, like Buddhist hell or Buddhist heaven or something like that. It's not about religion. It's about the law of nature. Like in the law of nature, they have the law of actions as well. It's just, even though you're not Buddhist, but when right before you die, and then you think of, oh, I'm gonna go to heaven, I'm gonna, go to something, to some to somewhere beautiful, something like that. And if you think like that, maybe it's gonna, for you to go to the good places after death. It's not just about for the Buddhist only, but it's about, it's the universal truth. This is what the Buddha said. And the third one, this is important because we can do, the third one is habitual kamma or ajinna, the action that you constantly habitually perform and recollect it. The first, second, and third has the order. That is why the topic is the actions according to the priority of effect. Right before you die, if your life have done the 5 heinous actions or have the wrong views, and then the first kamma is gonna take effect first, then you're gonna, to the Brahma realm or to the hell or to hell, right? And if you don't have the first type, then the second one gonna come in and, be in charge. Okay, now what you think, or what you remember, or what you feel before you die, if it's strong enough, it's gonna lead you to the next life. If it's a good feeling, if it's the good memory, good thought, and then to good destination. If it is the bad feeling, bad thought, bad memory, it's gonna bring you to the bad destination. But if you don't have like the strong recollection, if you have don't have the strong memory of anything, maybe you just sleep and then you die, the third one gonna take charge. Is called habitual actions. For example, if you sleep and then you die, you didn't do the first type, you didn't do the second type because you don't have this, remember, or the memory. Maybe this is the maybe. The third one gonna come and take charge is called habitual action. What you do in your daily life, you do the wholesome actions or unwholesome actions a lot. It might be your career. It might be the habit. For example, if you most of your life you do good deeds, that you can have a peace of mind that next time, next life, I'll be in the good place, good destination. If most of your life you do bad deeds, then now it's time for you to make a change, to do good deeds more and more and more. So this is why we should learn about this. So it's not about, it's not up to the Buddha to predict where to go, for you in your next life. It's actually you yourself who can, you know, not predict, but you can, um, it's in your hand, the future is in your hand. Your next life is in your hand, whether to go to the bad or good destination. And the last one, if you don't have the first Vedic Kamma, if you don't have the second type, the death proximate actions, if you don't have the third, you don't do, you don't have, like the good frequent actions that you've done, through your life, then the fourth one gonna come in charge, called cumulative katat, no, katatta, yeah, katatta kamma. It means because done. It's something that you have done in your life, or actions not included above 1, 2, 3 criteria. And those actions soon forgotten belongs to this category. This is the reverse fund of a particular being throughout his life. So this is all the four kinds of actions according to the priority of the effect to be reborn in the next life. If you don't have the first one, the Vedic Kamma, and then gonna be the death proximate Kamma. But these two, the first and the second, you cannot predict, right? You don't know what to happen right before you die. You don't know that you're gonna sleep and die, or you're gonna, like in some bad incident or something like that. You cannot predict the future in the second type. And if you cannot reach the shana right before you die, then you don't, be certain that you're gonna be reborn in the Brahma realm or something like that. So the first and the second type is very hard to control. But you can do the third one instead. You can now that you learn, so like, okay, habitual karma, habitual action is what I can decide for myself. Okay, I'm gonna do the good bodily action, verbal action, mental action. But now I know that the mental action give the heaviest consequences. So I should protect the mind not to have unwholesome thought. How? Abandon unwholesome by cultivate wholesome qualities, wholesome mental phenomena instead. Loving kindness, compassion, anapanasati, focusing on the breath, something like that. So now you know. That is the reason why that I want to talk about this topic today. Because if you love yourself, you have to love yourself with wisdom. So now you should learn what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, which we discussed earlier. Wholesome actions are derived from wholesome roots, which are non-hatred, non-greed, and non-delusion. Unwholesome actions are born from the three roots: hatred, greed, and ignorance or delusion, right? So now you know what is wholesome and unwholesome, and now you know that, okay, I think I'm gonna be reborn in the next life. I'll try my best not to be reborn to reach the nibbana or nirvana. But I'll try my best, but I don't know the result. I don't know the outcome. You know, if I'm gonna be reborn in the next life, then today I've learned that actually I can predict on my own. At least I should not go to the bad destination. I should go to the good destination. Then how? Avoid the bad weighty karma and train yourself to die before you die in real life. You have to train like, okay, now think of the good things. Putto, come to the breath, focus on the breath, or maybe, have good memory, something like that. But the first Vedic Kamma and the second death proximate Kamma is something that is very hard to control. So you know that, okay, the third one comes in handy. Habitual action. This I can do. This I can practice. To have the precepts. To train the mind through meditation. To listen to Dhamma, listen to the words of the Buddha. To abandon unwholesome and cultivate wholesome qualities instead. Or through these 5 things. This is from the highest blessing, SN 259. This is in Abhidhamma as well. How to have, habitual actions that is good. The first one, having formerly done meritorious deeds. You have to do good deeds. Even though you're gonna get the good results, which is good anyway, but do good deeds, follow the Noble Eightfold Path. Number 2, live in a good environment, a suitable environment that gonna, the third one, surround yourself with great friends, associating with the wise, good environment. Somewhere that is, make your practice easier, something that is proper for you, good for you. And the fourth one, listen to good advice and the teachings of the truth on due occasions. You have to listen to the teachings, to the Dhamma, to the Sutra, Abhidhamma, or whatever. You listen and then you embrace and then you practice so you know for yourself. And then the last one, set yourself on the right course. Now you know what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. Set yourself on the right course. Have the intention, because now you know that Kamma or actions is actually the intention. Train the mind. Have, right cause and then right consequences. Okay. So ask, how is the stream enter avoiding the bad destination, in this case from the standpoint of Kamma? The stream enter can avoid bad destination like 100%. If we're going to talk in the view of Abhidhamma, the stream enter or the Sotapanna can destroy Vicikiccha or the doubt in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. When he can destroy the Vicikiccha Cetasika, can destroy the doubt. This is very strong Cetana, the strong intention, the doubt. So the doubt can drag you to the bad destination. But the stream enter destroy the doubt 100%. So there is no chance for the stream enter to go to bad destination, the 4 destination. If I'm gonna, explain in the view of Abhidhamma, but if gonna explain in the sutra, in the discourse, the stream enter or the first noble disciple, he can destroy the wrong view, the view of the self. This is the first one. He can destroy the doubt, right? And then he can destroy the Silapata Paramad. He can keep precept with wisdom, and he will not break the precept, at least the 5 precepts he will not break. The 5 precepts, it means even the lay people can, be the stream enterer, and they cannot break the 5 precepts. So after that, without the wrong view, without the doubt, which is a very strong intention, the strong cetana, is a cetasika. You can read in the link that I attached to you, is the vocabulary in the Abhidhamma. It's a strong one that's going to drag you to bad destination. So without it, no chance to go to the bad destination for the stream enterer. Johan said, thank you, Ayya. Maybe a bit off topic, but it is said that there are enlightened beings or teachers in heavens. I guess not in Brahma realm, because it seems they just bliss out all the time. Yeah. It is said that there are enlightened beings or teachers in heaven. There are, as described in the many discourse. Um, maybe not enlightened, actually. The noble disciple in the earth here, they can meditate and then go up to heaven and then to teach. Maybe just like Mokkhalana Thera, he can go to teach in the heaven realm as well. And this is what they said, like even in heaven, there is the Dhamma hall, the hall for Dhamma teaching. This is what in the discourse as well. The hall is called Dhamma Sala, or the Dhamma hall. It has the name up there. And in the Dhamma hall up in heaven, the Deva gonna invite the noble disciple who may be the enlightened beings, the noble disciple up there, they need to teach the teachings of the Buddha. And actually they have mentioned the name as well. Sometimes it's the Deva in that, the heaven realm, there are 6 levels, right? So maybe the second levels gonna invite the second level noble disciple to come and teach, or maybe they're gonna invite the third. That's what I've learned from the discourse. But the Brahma realm, in Brahma realm, a long time, because in Brahma realm they just like eternity, because it's a long time. It's not eternity. They have to be reborn again anyway, but it's gonna be a long time. And if you in the formless Brahma realm, the 5th to number 8 or something like that, for the Shana, there's no form, so no form, no body, so you cannot come. Dhamma learner said, good evening, Ayya, and greeting to everyone here. Thank you, Ayya, for bringing attention to today's topic. Being in the states as a layperson, I need to be more aware of actions regarding death. Jordan asks, variable 4th level heaven, very wise being there can teach, meditate. I don't know, to those. Jatum Dawadung, right? To sit. I think the 3rd one. Jatum. Oh, Yama and then to sit, right? Yeah. The 4th one, to sita, right? Jatum Maharashika, the first one. Tawatingsa, right? The second one, I think Yama. And then the Dusita, I think Dusita, or maybe the 4th level. Yeah, the 4th level is the place where the Bodhisattva the Bodhisattva. Before come to be the Buddha, I have to be the Bodhisattva, and they have to be on that level to wait until the proper time to come and then be the Buddha. So the fourth level, Bodhisattva, or the wise one, up there. So when you ask like many teachers in Thailand, most of them they said, okay, I want to reach Nibbana, but if I cannot reach Nibbana, just like when you aim to the moon, if I cannot reach there, maybe if I can choose, I want to go to the fourth one, the fourth level, because there is Bodhisattva, the one who is very wise. So maybe you can go up there and then learn the teachings up there. Mm-hmm. Dhamma learner said, we are taught to live in the moment and not be concerned about death and rebirth. Here we are not remind as we should. Thank you for bringing attention to activities. It's just for the peace of mind, that of course I'm gonna be reborn. If I not reach the nirvana in this life, gonna be reborn. But at least now that I am human, at least now that I am still alive, I should have the knowledge what is good, what is bad, what I should abandon, what I should cultivate. And I should avoid the Vedic Kamma. I should practice. So I don't know the future, but at least I practice myself now. I train to die before I die now. I'm not going to be careless. I'm going to prepare myself. And the third one, now I learn about habitual action. This is important. And now I know that the mental action give the heaviest consequences. So you should beware of your thought. Some people, when they don't learn about this, they say like, oh, I think the actions through body, it can create more consequences. So I don't have to, worry about the mind. I can think, bad thing. I want to kill you. Nah, this is the bad thought. But I still want to kill you. I want to kill you, but I don't do. I can, refrain myself from killing, but I imagine it all the time. And, to have that bad thought, it's not good. So now you know that you should, okay, that is unwholesome actions, mental action, I should abandon it. Loving kindness, mindfulness, something like that. And one thing that I want to mention, that, everyone have done something bad in the past, right? Maybe once, twice, or maybe like 100 times in the past. You have to remind yourself that that is something in the past. Now, at this moment, I know that those actions are bad. Now I know. I forgive myself. Something that I did in the past, it cannot be, undo, right? I can change now that I forgive myself, I forgive others, or even though you cannot find that person to ask for forgiveness, but it's something that you have done in the past. You've learned from your experience. You have learned your lesson. And then you don't have to remember or think or, feel sad about it again. Why? If you think of that again, remind yourself of your bad actions in the past, it creates the bad mental actions. And this is very, very dangerous. Sometimes when you think of something bad in the past, if you think of it as to learn from, have the lesson from it. Okay, now I have learned my lesson. That's it. It's in the past already. Now I set myself to the right course. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do something better. Good deeds, good actions, good thoughts, good speech. And then think of the good thing. So even you think it is the good mental actions already. So this is what I want to focus. Don't try to think of bad things in the past and then torment yourself over and over. That is gonna be the bad habitual actions, and it's not good. Mhm. Just learn from your past, forget, forgive, and then move on. Yeah, Tusita. Jordan said, yeah, Tusita. What we can say, it is said that the Buddha first taught the Abhidhamma to a multitude of deva in the Tusita, yeah, Tusita, Tawatingsa, no, Tawatingsa heaven. Perhaps many of them through Abhidhamma learning and practice attain stage of awakening. Yes, the mother of the Buddha and like a mass number of deva up there. Um, um, yeah, be the noble disciple. It is, I think, I don't know what discourse, the name of the discourse, I cannot remember, but it is said in the Tipitaka that the mother and the mass number of the deva up there attain the right understanding, be the first noble disciple or reach arahant. I don't know. Should ask the Ayya, does Itipiso Katha generate good karma? If so, why does it produce Itipiso Katha? What do you mean? Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang Samma, right? Generate good karma. Itipis, if I'm not mistaken, you asked about Itipiso Bhagawa. Itipiso Bhagawa is when you have the recollection of the Buddha, you remind yourself of the qualities of the Buddha. So it create a good karma because it's one of the the mindfulness that the Buddha said. When you think of the qualities of the Buddha, it's just like good thought and then good consequences. Great. The Buddha was reborn from Tusita heaven to the human realm. What was that? Because of the karma? Every Buddha have to follow the long journey as a bodhisattva, right? They have to be reborn over and over and over to learn, and then like many past life in the Chataka, you can read in the discourse in the Pali Canon. And you know the last life, I mean, as a bodhisattva, after that the Buddha have to be in the Tusita realm, the fourth heaven. First, to wait for the time, which is like the good time. There are many criteria, you know, like the mother, the father, gonna like wait for the people that um, that group of people. If you read in the Shataka, they're just like gonna be like the same group of people over and over again. Ananta, Sariputta, Mokkallana, it's just past life, and they have like many life like together, gonna be like the mass group of people. So the Buddha to have to be reborn from the Tusita pendant as a human, as the last life to attain, because He had accumulated a lot merit, and this is gonna be the last time, as his intention to have the right understanding and then to teach so people can reach the right understanding as well. If you study the life of the past life of the Buddha, the not the first, but as he is like the hermit, right? I cannot remember the name now. He have the intention, like actually at that life he can reach the nirvana and be the disciple of, I cannot remember the Buddha's name, the Kassapa, I don't know. He can reach the nirvana at that life because he can reach, like the shana and have the wisdom already, some of the wisdom, and then if he listen more and then he can reach the nirvana. But at that time he think like, if I reach nirvana in this life, then I can help only myself. But if I'm gonna be the Buddha like that person, I can help many more people. So I want to be the Buddha. So he set intention. Once he set intention and once the Buddha predict like, okay, I can see that you have potential. You can be the Buddha. In the future, your mother's gonna name, your mother's name is, your father's name is, you're gonna be reborn here. Your right disciple is, your left disciple is, you have the whole prediction beforehand. And then after that, gonna follow the long journey as the Bodhisattva. And the last time as the Bodhisattva, I have to wait in the Tusita. And after that, okay, now my mother is this name, my father is, okay, now I can be reborn. And this is the last life as the Buddha. Mhm. Dhamma learner said, thank you for the summary. It is helpful and bringing up past action. We have been waiting on my mind. I will use your advice to help me move on. Yeah, Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma. It creates good karma because it's a good thought. It's when you remember and when you remind yourself of the qualities of the Buddha. And it is the good mental actions. So you can create good karma. Mhm. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone for coming in. Hi, Sui, right? Hi, Jordan. Thank you very much. Hi, Kasuko. Hi, Sui. Hi, MGMG, Gita Brown, Amaranta, Tamanusari, Pipuni, Pumika, and Sooth and Karuna. I hope you learn something beneficial and then you can make change in your life and then cultivate the habitual actions. Okay. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Vord. Thank you, Ayya, for the helpful Abhidhamma teaching. Thank you, Jordan, Karuna. Thank you, Greg. Okay, I hope you all have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Let us say Sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu Anumodhami. Thank you, everyone. May you all reach the supreme happiness or nirvana. No more hatred, no more greed, no more delusion. With the right understanding, through the right and the right liberation. Everyone. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. See you again next Thursday.